No more optical camouflage. No more optical camouflage. Karath sat motionless atop a high rocky outcrop where cold winds from the upper atmosphere swept down carrying the scent of metal and rotting mud from the swamp below. At his feet, the entire valley spread out like an open wound in the planet's flesh. Patches of black, waterlogged ground interwoven with twisted stands of trees, their trunks coated in dimly glowing lichen. Sunlight here was never clear. It bent and filtered through an atmosphere so dense that everything looked as though it were being viewed through a pane of filthy glass. He had withdrawn. The thought scraped across Karath's consciousness like a shard of bone lodged in his throat. Withdrawal was not failure. At least, that was what he told himself. In Yacha doctrine, a tactical retreat was permitted if the prey proved unworthy or if hunting conditions were compromised. Yet beneath all those layers of honorable phrasing, Karath understood a far more naked truth. He had been forced to turn his back on prey. He tilted his head slightly, heavy dreadlocks brushing against one another with a dry, muted sound. His mask systems had stabilized, but small pockets of interference still flickered across the display, residual echoes of something in the swamp that had disrupted his technology. That thing should not exist, not on any planet ever classified as a low-tier hunting zone. Karath clenched his four-fingered hand, claws snapping out and retracting. He refused to accept this as defeat. Not yet. A Yacha only truly fails when he abandons his right to prove himself, and then he saw movement. At the edge of his infrared vision, a large heat mass appeared, slow but steady, moving from the forest up the slope of the opposite hill. Karath immediately adjusted his viewing mode. The image sharpened, outlines growing clearer. A four-legged creature. Massive musculature. Low-slung but heavy, its large head held close to the ground. Its back arched like living stone, thick hide layered in overlapping plates that did not reflect light but swallowed it whole. Upon its head rose a pair of long horns, gently curved forward, their tips razor-sharp as if honed from mountain rock. It resembled a wild ox, only in the crudest sense of shape. This was not weak prey. Each step sent faint tremors through the ground, and Karath realized the vibrations were not random. The creature's gait was steady, controlled, as if it were listening to the earth beneath its hooves. Karath's heart quickened, the rhythm of combat surging through his blood. This was an opportunity, not to claim a great trophy, but to prove that he was still a hunter, not something driven away. He activated optical camouflage. The air around him bent, and Karath's form dissolved into the atmosphere like a heat mirage. He lowered his center of gravity and moved without sound, each step placed with absolute care. The distance closed steadily. 200 meters. 100. 50. Close enough, and he could deliver a killing strike to the creature's neck. At 20 meters, Karath could smell it, a strange blend of minerals, sweat, and something like burned resin. The creature stopped, its head tilting slightly to one side. Karath froze. He held his position, trusting the camouflage. The creature inhaled deeply, its massive chest expanded, then fell. Small ears flattened against its head twitched faintly. It did not turn, but its entire body tensed, like a drawn cord ready to snap back. A small warning flickered in Karath's HUD, localized field interference. He frowned, attempting to recalibrate. The camouflage was still active, but stability parameters were dropping at an abnormal rate. And then the creature snapped its head around. Its eyes, black, deep, and cold, locked directly onto the spot where Karath stood. Not into empty space, but at him. In that instant, Karath understood. This creature did not see as other prey did. It sensed presence through vibration, through bioelectromagnetic fields, or through something even more ancient. Yacha camouflage, a decisive advantage in countless hunts, had been rendered useless. The creature roared. The sound was not loud, but deep and dense, rippling through the ground like a shockwave. It charged. Karath reacted on instinct. He leapt backward, wrist blades snapping out as he slashed horizontally while the massive body thundered past. The blades struck thick hide with a shrill metallic screech, sparks bursting outward. The blow left only a shallow scratch, almost meaningless. The creature pivoted far faster than he anticipated. Its horns swept through the air with a shrieking roar. Karath rolled aside, feeling hot wind tear past his mask. The ground where he had stood exploded, dirt and stone spraying outward. He sprang up, circling the beast in constant motion, striking again, then again, but each blow was absorbed by dense hide and muscle. No blood flowed. Only pale scratches appeared, then vanished beneath the rolling movement of flesh. The creature did not slow. It drove straight at him, its mass like an entire mountainside collapsing downhill. Karath was forced to evade. He leapt high, clinging to the trunk of a nearby tree. The tall tree shook violently as the creature's claws tore through its base. The trunk cracked, groaning as if about to split. Karath sprang to another tree, heart pounding, breath heavy inside his mask. He accepted a difficult truth. This was not prey to be brought down in a direct confrontation. Every second he remained, he exposed more weakness. The creature roared again and slammed into the tree Karath clung to. He didn't wait for impact. Activating his laser tether, he fired upward. The energy lines snapped taut, hauling him high into the upper canopy. Below, the horns plunged deep into the trunk, splintering it before it collapsed with a thunderous crack. Karath landed on a higher branch and kept moving, never looking back. He heard the creature below, the heavy, rasping breaths, the sound of hooves crushing roots. It did not pursue immediately. It simply stood there, looking up, remembering. When the distance was finally sufficient, Karath stopped atop a massive limb and looked down at the scratch along his wrist blade. He retracted the weapon, chest heaving. No trophy, no blood, only the naked truth that he had been seen, challenged, and forced to withdraw once again. But this time, unlike the swamp, what filled Karath's chest was no longer mere irritation. It was a suffocating resentment, one without words.